for me, the reason for signing this film was it's more than my role. It's the entire genre of the film that's very interesting, and I feel that I'm at a stage in my life that more than just focusing on what I am doing in solidarity, I want to focus on the entire project. And I want to encourage as well as support films, be a part of films, and work with directors who are upcoming, who are young, talented, and who have something different to offer. More than the focus on the love story, it's about it's a very fast-paced, keeping you on the edge of your seat sort of a thriller. And that's what I feel is quite exciting about the film. That's what I feel will have the audience gripped onto it. The audience will definitely want to wonder what happens next, especially post interval, is when the entire story twists and turns and different parts of the plot get revealed. So it's quite exciting, and it's different because I haven't really experimented too much with uh, genres which are different from mainstream commercial cinema. This is commercial, this is mainstream for sure, but like I said, it is a different genre to experiment with.
Dio played damsel in distress in a lot of films, right? So, and from the trailer, it also looks like this police officer is trying to protect either one of you two, you or Marion. So, how different was that emotion to carry out?
It's not a different emotion. You're right. I usually do play damsel in distress. I don't know why people like to see me that way. It's for you to see who he ends up protecting. But that I obviously can't tell you right now. But it's not that different.
Okay.
My emotion, like I said, it's the totality of the film that's exciting for me more than my role particularly, to be blatantly honest.
2017 లో మీరు అన్ని పెద్ద హీరోలతో చేశారు. 18 లో ఓన్లీ యంగ్స్టర్స్, అంటే కాజల్ 2.5 యంగ్స్టర్స్ తో చేస్తూ.
I like when you say that now that this 2.0 has just released, but ఇది plan కాదు. It just happened this way, and like I said, my main focus was on the kind of films that I'm doing. My main focus was on the scripts, on the stories. What I want to try and broaden my horizon and grow my portfolio. I mean, I am done with just doing the same kind of stuff. So if you see, yes, Kavacham is a commercial. You obviously have to do certain films for commercial reasons as well. We are all here in a business. We are not doing charity. But having said that, I am trying to balance it out with films where my role is equally strong. Now it's just happened to be opposite the younger lot of actors, which is quite flattering for me. But I think it's working well. I think it's like I'm enjoying the space of striking a balance.
మీ రోల్ ఎంత ఇంపార్టెంట్ అసలు?
It's of course the main lead, and obviously there are just a few characters through which the entire story is told. My character is one of them. It is a very important role, but it's not like it's some driving force of the film. I mean, that's obviously the hero's role. But having said that, it is an equally important role.
You just said that you're looking to broaden your horizon and looking to do different characters, right? So, taking off from what you said about Kajal being 2.0, would you say that Niraju Ninemanthi was a turning point for you, or was some other film which made these filmmakers look at you from a fresh perspective about what you can offer?
Oh, that's a very interesting question, actually. So, I was offered films where filmmakers were offering me different sort of roles, but I think it's upon each person as well. I wasn't ready. I wasn't mentally in that mind space to take on films which were different. Maybe I was a little scared or averse to adapting to newer situations. I was in my comfort zone.
Sure.
And now I feel I have kind of broken out of that shell where I am open to challenges. I am open to experimenting.
Is it
So more than just the directors offering me that kind of films, I think it's my acceptance and it's my growth maybe as a person, and I want to now do stuff which is exciting for me personally.
What this change exactly?
What brought the change? Growing up.
That's it.
Yeah, you just realize one day that okay, I'm bored of this. I want to do something else. I want to do something different. I want to do something exciting. And also, you're in a safe space. Once you reach a level of security and safety, then from there on, it's easier to do different things, right? For any of us, for any of our professions. So once you reach a level where you feel okay, now I'm stable, you don't mind experimenting. But to get to that level of stability, you have to go the conventional way, unfortunately.
But are you getting those roles that you want to play right now?
Yeah, of course. That's exactly what I just said.
Mhm.
I am now getting roles where I'm very excited. I'm playing all different sorts of age groups. I'm playing all different sorts of characters. Black, white, grey, different sort of roles. So it's really exciting for me.
When you say you're in a safe space, right? So are you saying that you have nothing to lose now? Like,
No. I don't mean it that way.
Okay.
I think every Friday, every actor has something to lose. It is very scary still. It is very challenging still. The environment is very shaky. It's not a smooth environment to be in. So I'm not saying that I am so confident. I'm not. Like, obviously, I get scared before every release. But I don't get jitters or I don't get like sleepless nights. I am now in a place personally where I feel I don't get that attached anymore. Like, I do my work to the best of my ability. Don't get me wrong. But after that, I leave it to fate. After that, I can't do anything about it. So I've learned to accept that.
Given 50, 60 movies, after 60, 50 movies, even you are still script competitions or within story. What is the secret?
No secret, just hard work. And you should have a drive to want to prove yourself. Like I was telling him, that you should have a drive to prove yourself with every release. And it's upon each person. It's upon how seriously, not serious, how committed you are. How passionate you are, how committed you are to what you're doing. For anything. And yeah, I guess that's it. There's no secret or something. I mean, it's quite obvious for anyone.
The Queen remake is Paris.
Yeah.
So much before signing up for this or before the role came to you, you would have watched Queen on. So what you like most in Kanakala group that you are sort of trying to follow it into your Paris?
So interestingly, I saw Queen when it had released 5 years back. Uske baad I didn't see it. When I was offered Paris. So the talks were going on for a very long time. First, there were some talks about me doing all the 4 languages. Then there were talks about me doing Telugu, Tamil. Then it trickled down to me doing Tamil. And I'm happier that I just did 1 language. It's lesser of a burden. And plus, it's nice that 4 actresses from different industries are doing the same film. It's quite cool to see. It's the first time in the history of Indian cinema, I mean, world cinema actually. I don't even know. I've never heard of it. But for me, I of course loved Kangana's performance in the film. I thought she was so naive and natural and like innocently beautiful in the film. And I've tried to retain all of that innocence. At the same time, I have tried to keep it as Tamil in nativity and in culture and in sensibilities as possible. I want this girl that I'm playing, Parmeshwari, to be a very simple, relatable girl for any small town in Tamil Nadu or all over South India. But since my language is Tamil, I have focused on keeping it as Tamil as possible.
Shooting is done.
All done. Yeah. I have 2 days patchwork left, which I'll finish now this coming week, and then I am. Then we go on flowers in Feb, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But this sort of a film is difficult to coordinate because there are 4 busy actresses, and all 4 are busy doing their own things. So to come together and promote it together and to talk about it together is very difficult because everyone has their own, set of things to do. and pre-scheduled commitments.
Here you have done with senior actors with Chiranjeevi, Ravi, Teja, and then you have Ajit over there, and now finally with Kamala Hassan. So, how did Indian 2 come to you?
Can we talk about this later?
Yeah. So how are you feeling?
Very excited. Very excited. I'm dying to tell you all about it, but I'll talk about it later. Yeah, let things happen, then I'll talk about it.
Kajal, you started off 2018 a very interesting role in and now you're ending it with a bang with Indian 2, right? So when you reflect on the year so far, what's your state of mind? Like, has it been a very interesting year for you, or?
Professionally, it's been much more than I expected.
In what sense?
I thought I would take it slow this year. I thought I would take a break from things this year. I thought I would relax. I was very, very unwell, unfortunately, in the beginning of the year. During I was sick for like 3 months. I was like on bed rest for 3 months. I was very unwell, which nobody really knows about. But it's been a very difficult year for me in terms of my own health and like physical nature, you know. So I was in Bombay and I thought I'd take it easy. And I thought that in the beginning of the year, I thought that I would take it slow and maybe focus on just the films that I have in hand, and that's it. Finish it and chill.
Yeah.
Take a break. Life always has other plans, thankfully. Somehow I have had the busiest year this year, and I've just not been able to take a break. Even though I was on like hardcore medication, I was working more than I usually work, and somehow it's just. But there are no complaints. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
I've loved my year, and I couldn't be more grateful. It's been an amazing year. Professionally, it's been amazing. You know, I've gotten to do such amazing roles. I'm very excited about the kind of films that I'm doing. I'm doing a full-on comedy in Tamil with Ravi called Komali. At the same time, I'm doing a very intense role with Teja sir again with Sai Srinivas, where my role is like, I feel it's one of the best of my career. Like, for me to act, it's been so challenging for me, and it's like the first time I'm doing that. So for me, it's been very exciting.
You said you're not well. Like, what happened? Like, 3 months of bed rest sounds very serious to me.
I had an autoimmune disorder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has it been cured now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine now. I was on very strong medication, but I had to slow down. I had to, like, basically, what I feel is like God forced me to take a break. I didn't have a choice. Like, it's autoimmune. You can't do anything about it. I didn't even know I have it till very recently. And I did all sorts of mad stuff. Yeah, like I ran a marathon through the disorder. I didn't know. I was running away to glory happily till I started having fever every evening for no unexplainable fever, unexplainable fatigue, and massive, which is like for my amount of physical strenuous day, it's not normal because I am very used to working out, eating. I eat very healthy. My lifestyle is very healthy, so I don't know how it happened. Like it's unexplainable. But well, all's well that ends well, and my year's been amazing. So there are no complaints.
How is Sreemukhi?
He's a sweetheart. He's one of the nicest people I've worked with. I call him Enthu Cutlet because he's so enthu about everything. He's very enthusiastic. I think he's one of the most hardworking people I've worked with. Very eager, very ambitious. He's got that drive. In fact, it's really weird to say this, but I feel like I was exactly like that. So to some level, I can quite, like, we can relate to one another. He's got this passion to want to prove himself, and he wants to work hard. He wants to do everything. And I feel I'm exactly like that. Like, I want to do everything. Even when I'm dying with like 104 fever, I still want to do stuff. I still want to run. I'm still running the marathon again. So I want to do everything. So I think he's a lot like that. You know, I like that. I really admire that about him. And also, one more thing I like about him is he does not take his family name for granted. Things can be easier for him. They are, of course, easier for him. But he constantly wants to up the game. He doesn't use his father's name. He wants to do it by himself. And he has no qualms in wanting to learn. He is, on set, he's an eager seeker, which I like about people in general. Like, I like people who are like that. People who have no qualms in growing. People who have no qualms in learning. Every day is a learning experience. So, I like that about him.
Is Kajal like a second youngster?
Let's wait and watch. Hopefully. We'll have to see.
Deepika और प्रियंका का marriage हो रहा है.
आपने ये सेम क्वेश्चन मुझे लास्ट टाइम पूछा था. आप मेरे पापा से आके मिलो. आपको बहुत टेंशन है मेरी शादी.
Nowadays, marriage is not hard for
Yeah, right. People are just happily getting. It's damn cool, yeah. 2018 has been a year of marriages. I was so tempted to get married also. Like, I was like, everyone's getting married. Let's get married.
You must have felt more when you went to the reception there. Right?
No. It was actually really nice. They're very gracious hosts. And it was nice. It was very nice. I usually don't stick around at parties too much. But I actually, especially went for this. And I actually waited for more than 10 minutes of just showing my face and running away. So it was really nice. It was very nice. And I really like the Deepika and I think they are very nice people. They are very warm and gracious and courteous.
Kajal, sorry, sir. Yeah, please. You were recently named by India Today as one of the most powerful change makers. Your name was on the list. So, what was that like? Did it come as a big surprise for you? Or did you read that article? Because from your expression, I can't.
No, I read it. Oh, well. Oh, I feel. So I've never really focused on power. And power is a very interesting characteristic that most people desire, but most people also don't know what to do with it. I feel personally that whatever power I generate or have, I feel I'd like to, and I try my level best at every given point to translate it into things that impact and influence people, especially those who follow me, in an appropriate way, in a way that I deem right, I feel, or I personally believe to be correct. At the same time, it gives me a lot of satisfaction to do things or to give back to society in whatever possible way that I can. So, I consider power to be a translation of that. But of course, different people have different opinions on the subject. But I would like to believe and like to influence people in whatever best way that I can.
But it's largely been through your work, right? Like whatever influence or power that you're talking about.
I also do other things. Like I'm extremely involved with education for tribal kids, especially.
Tribal kids?
Yeah, in Araku Valley.
Okay.
I closely work with this organization called Think. In fact, I run the marathon every year to generate funds. And it is a lot of physical labor. And I've already built a school in Araku for the tribal children. But I'd like to expand that and make that a larger thing.
When did this happen? Like,
a couple of years ago.
Okay.
A couple of years ago. I don't talk about everything in my life, Hemant. Every detail I should give you or what?
This is such an interesting thing, right? Like, how come we didn't know what? Yeah.
Is there a particular reason that you chose Araku?
I've been to Araku several times. I've shot there so much. And I quite like the place. Also, I came across ThinkPiece, who I believe are very legitimate, hardworking group of individuals who the funds go to the right places. I personally check them out, and I want to back and support something which is honest and genuine. Where the funds are directed for the right reasons and for the right purpose. And I've seen them doing this, and not just education, but they provide midday meals, they provide sanitation, they provide they teach children in a very singing and dancing manner. Like how things used to be back in the day, in a very traditional concept of education, where the teacher used to teach them. So they are taught in Telugu, obviously the kids. They are taught basics of English as well, but essentially they're tribal children. So they don't need like a full-fledged education like the way our kids would need it. They are still very rudimentary in their learning. So that's the way the education is built around. That's the way the syllabus is made. And there's a lot of personal attention. There are a lot of volunteers who come forward and do this. I feel society has a lot of good. We just need to tap it. We just need to ensure that it's brought out into the forefront. And collective people who have similar mindsets should just be brought together. So Aruku, because I met these individuals in the US a couple of years ago, and I was very impressed with what they are doing, and I decided to full-fledged support it. And now I am quite committed to this, and I am deeply involved. I don't have the time to go there, but the team usually sends me photographs, really sweet photographs of all these kids. They make videos singing my songs and Kajal, they are really excited about it. So it's very touching, yeah. Like it just makes me feel like I'm doing something right in life.
You post these things on Twitter.
No, I don't want to.
Tomorrow it will go all over the papers.
I don't want the sanctity of this to go.
So happy to hear.
Thank you.
ఈ వీడియో గనుక మీకు నచ్చినట్లయితే
లైక్ చేయండి,
షేర్ చేయండి
అండ్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయండి.